most customer experience initiatives fail. This is a painful realization for us, but it does come from over 15 years of experience and over 1,000 enterprise program implementations. Of course, success or failure is dependent on the benchmark. At OCX Cognition, we find that even having accurate, constantly updated CX metrics is not in of itself a worthwhile objective. Rather, our yardstick for success is financial impact, a meaningful change to growth or profitability or both. Against that standard, our research has found that 5% or fewer of CX programs meet a standard that the CEO or board would find meaningful. We believe that a new approach is warranted in order to create far better outcomes. We call it NPS outcome engineering. But before we get to that, we should fully understand the extent of the challenge. 5% may be poor, but we see few signs of that metric improving. Indeed, as more companies adopt CX, there's every reason to believe that failure rates will increase because delayed CX strategy adoption also correlates with weaker executive commitment. CX initiatives need to be based on indisputable business logic. When corporations don't get anticipated results, they respond logically, sometimes stopping the effort entirely. 50% of initiatives are effectively shut down with any change in corporate leadership. In response to this, CX leaders often see underfunding as a root cause of failure. We prefer to see inadequate investment as a reaction to an unconvincing argument. If management doubts that the initiative will yield concrete benefits, they quite reasonably do not commit adequate funds. So is NPS, or CX in general for that matter, a failed concept? The notion that customer experience matters seems fundamental, but what if the common view of CX as an initiative based on measurement, root cause, and action is just not a cogent, coherent idea? That seems unlikely. Our results do confirm the transformative and leveraged financial impact of CX improvements and/or the costs of shortcomings. We find improvements on brand equity, customer acquisition costs, cost to serve, and other secondary but important indicators such as employee retention. CX initiatives help business find and monetize hidden value. When a business is competing through customer experience, and where that business truly delivers on customer experience according to the customer, income follows, quite spectacularly in fact. Furthermore, the bar for success keeps rising, favoring the leaders who have codified continuous improvement. Much as the Red Queen explains to Alice, you must accelerate performance, run faster, just to maintain the competitive position. For example, subpar basic contact center experiences nowadays are more of a shock than a routine experience in a marked change over the last 20 years. Or in shipping and logistics, where a 2-week lead time was considered quite acceptable only 10 years ago, but today customers expect same-day performance. In short, the evidence continues to support the imperative to compete through customer experience. The rapid adoption of intent to compete this way does suggest corporations have at least acknowledged this new reality. So no, competition through differential customer experience is not a flawed concept. Perhaps unsurprisingly, the dramatic separation of spectacular success of the few, as opposed to the failure of the majority, lies in execution. We have found that executional failure typically manifests itself in quite specific ways. Executive failure to take action, lack of employee engagement, and an inability to drive change in the business strategy, operations, or culture. However, these failures are best thought of as symptoms. We should ask ourselves, what are the causes? The big three drivers, if you like, that create success and their chief vulnerabilities are this. First, integration of the CX strategy. In a failure case, the initiative is seen as an independent effort, falling outside the context of corporate strategy. Second, strong and contemporary data and analytics capability. Traditional research methods can in fact hobble initiatives and create a data divide that results in shortcomings in both data and analytic skills. And third, but importantly, a customer-centric organizational model. Here, the initiative vulnerability can stem from not prescriptively aligning the organizational design and the employee assets to deliver on the competitive CX requirements. All three of these are prerequisites for success. Failure in one or more typically will create disappointment.